Hi, Flosstube. Betsy Klager in Hamilton here for a special edition. It's a whip parade. Hamilton, do you know what a whip parade is? Do you know what a whip parade is? She's still sleepy. Seems like I always want to record when she's taking a nap. Oh, yeah, there she is. Tell everybody what we were doing this morning. We were watching videos of kitty cats swimming. Do you want to go swimming? Hamilton, do you want to go swimming? Say hi. Hi, say hi. Oh, you're not interested in Mommy's whips, are you? No? Okay, is it time to get down? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sleeping. I'm sitting in one of Hamilton's favorite chairs in my sewing room. If you hear the fans going, I believe my voice is loud enough, but the background noise you hear, not this fan, I didn't leave that one on, but there's one on the floor over there because I'm in my craft room and it's hot. And can we just say, I like summer if I'm in the shade by a pool in the woods where it's cool at nighttime, except when the bugs come. That's when I like summer. Very, very particular. Oh, she's really shedding. All right, so I did a poll on Instagram. I'm trying to see where the camera is because I think I turned my iPad. I have a new setup with the ring light and everything. So I don't know where the camera is. I think I'm gonna pause it and watch it and see. Here's position 1, position 2, 3, 4. Okay, I figured out where the camera is. Sorry about that. I was hoping that the ring light would make it nicer for me so I wouldn't have reflections in my glasses from the outdoor light and so forth. I also was hoping it would make my neck look better. All right, so I did a poll on Instagram and 99% said they wanted to see a video, 1% of my whips, 1% said they didn't, and that's okay. I got a lot of private messages of support criticizing the people who voted no. But let me just say this, as a person with very thick skin, I'm in a profession where there is controversy, argumentative people. I have very thick skin. My feeling is if I put a poll out there that asks a yes or no, people are free to say no. You can have your opinions about whether you agree with them, but they have a right to do it. I have put myself out there, so I am not going to criticize people who don't want to see my whip parade because they don't need to watch. And I hope you're not watching if you voted no. Because if you watch, you better not leave a thumbs down is all I'm saying, because you assume the risk. Right, Mary Ashcroft? That's lawyer talk. Okay. It is Saturday, July the 10th, and I am going to show a whip parade. I don't have a lot of whips. It depends on what you think a lot is. By many standards, it's not a lot. By some standards, it's a lot. So we're just going to go not in chronological order because I'm not that organized, and I'm just going to show you what whips I have, see if there are any that I might want to give up on. No, that's not a good way to say it. UFO, or offer to people to finish for me. That may be an option, we'll see. Oh, speaking of giving things, my anxiety kind of went through the roof with my 2,000 subscriber giveaway, and that's why you saw a lot of posts from me asking for my winners to contact me. I have this thing that if I promise that I'm going to do something, I want to fulfill it, and I get all anxious that it's not going to happen. It's weird. So everybody has been notified who has won my 2,000 giveaway. Janine, Adelia, and Robin. Congratulations to the 3 of you. Get this, you all. You're not going to believe this, or maybe you will believe it. 2 out of 3 live in Australia. 10 people live in Australia, and 2 of them won my contest. Let's see, I've counted Nikki Noodle, Kathy Purdon lives there, the 2 contest winners, Hugh Jackman, Olivia Newton-John, Nicole Kidman, Keith Urban, and then there's 3 more Australians that live there. And the 2 won. What are the odds? I kid, Australia. I kid. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. I think next time what I'll do, if I ever have a giveaway again and I'm going to have 3 people, I'll just announce all the names at once, and then whoever contacts me first gets to pick and do it that way. Because this stressed me out. Sorry, allergies. I also noticed in my last video that I was really gross by holding my Kleenex. I got that habit from my grandmother. My grandmother, Mary was named Mary, and I adored her. She was, I know this sounds politically incorrect, but I suffer from mental illness myself, so I kind of laugh about it. I, have been very public. I take medication for my depression and anxiety. My grandmother was not medicated, and she was cuckoo. But she skipped a generation with respect to how nurturing and encouraging she was of me. Like, I think with my mother and my mother's 2 sisters, my grandmother was not the best mother. But by the time I came along, she thought I hung the moon. And she gave me so much confidence in myself. Where am I going with this? I have no idea. Oh, the Kleenex. Okay, so the Kleenex thing, I got that from my grandmother. My grandmother always had a runny nose, and she would always, just do, okay, this is gross. So if you don't want to hear about snot, fast forward like a minute or 2. But it's not like snot came pouring out her nose or anything. It was just very, and then she would tuck it in her sweater, because women didn't have pockets back then. I just stick them in my pocket. And I've just gotten into this awful habit of, I don't mess up the Kleenex. Like, it's not like it's wet or anything. Is this getting too detailed? But I just do this, and then, I'll hold my floss. And I realized when I was watching the video that it's absolutely disgusting. And I apologize. I won't do it in the future. So I use it, Kleenex once, and then I put it in my pocket, and then it's trashed. But I'm going to try and save the Kleenex, but also not display the Kleenex with my projects. That's my PSA for today. All right. I'm going to start with the whip that I was working on this morning, and if you follow me on Instagram, you saw it. When I got Mary Clayton back all framed, this inspired me to do this. Sally Stansfield by Hands Across the Sea. Before I picked it up a couple of days ago, since my last Flosstube actually, I had done I'd done all the red except for this chimney part. I don't know what happened there. But I did all of this, I don't know if you can, let me hold it still. This trim here, it's the same color as the fabric almost. But I did all of that. I filled the rest of that in. It's around the windows, around this lining here. I'm not giving you the finger. And I still haven't done the stairs. That's a different color. But I did all this goldish color. And then I also filled in the grass. Don't expect ironing on any of these whips, by the way. So, person who gave me thumbs down, I'm not going to let it go. It was one comment 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and I'm not going to let it go. Apparently, I hang on to things. The person who criticized me for not ironing. It's summer, it's too hot. So that's Sally Stansfield Progress. This is in my rotation, so I am not going to give it up, obviously, but I did a fair amount on it, so I'm going to put this aside and work on something else. After I record my plan and edit, my plan is to sew project bags because Jenny and Belle is waiting for her project bag, and Padma, I want to send Padma a project bag. And then on my new starts, which, okay, so I was exchanging messages with Nikki Noodles, as I do. She's gonna do a wet parade. See, now I said it, Nikki, so now you have to do. This is my bed head, moving around, woo! It's 1:30 in the afternoon. This is water. Nikki has to do a whip parade now because I just said it, because she wants to do one. And then we thought later we each would do a kitted up parade to show you what we've got kitted up. All right, maybe I'll do a poll on Instagram for that so people can give a thumbs down and vote no. The two people that voted no, I actually reached out and followed them on Instagram. I wanted to show them some love and support because I think they have a right to say they don't want to see my whip parade. You can disagree with me, but I'm just spreading the love and the kindness. This was my new start in June. I don't have my book of days with me, so the other thing is, I am really sorry, but unless I have it like right in the bag, I'm not going to be able to tell you what the fabric is. I can tell you the flosses because I have those. 99.9% of the time, the flosses are the called for. I'm not that creative. And the fabric is most likely called for. But I'll try and specify if I know. This one I know is on 18 count Aida. Ivory. Called for floss. And I've made a lot of progress on this. This is the Flea Market Flower Sal. The designer is Lori Holt, whose nails this nail polish, I might do a post on Instagram. I'm not sponsored. It's called Olive and June. I got it from an Instagram ad. I think Target carries them. They have cuticle conditioner that's awesome. This nail polish I did almost 2 weeks ago. It's not gel, it's regular nail polish. Unheard of. It always chips after at least 4 days, 4 or 5 days. It chips. This is magnificent. I'm at the point where I'm bored of this and I want to make, put on a new color, but I usually don't do that until it chips. What's a gal to do? What is a gal to do? You want to see the flosses, you say? Okay, I can do that. They're all DMC. As Denise says, she likes to eat, so she uses DMC, which is a very good tip. DMC is marvelous. Anything that's out there can be done in, DMC and still be beautiful. And if you want a variegated effect, you can blend DMC. Do one strand of, 2 different shades together. This is the rest that I haven't. I'm doing it as I go. I'm organizing it and cutting it as I go. I'm not Laura, who does hundreds of them at a time. She loves doing it. Come out here, Laura. I don't mind doing it, but it aggravates my thumbs. Again, with the arthritis, Betsy, would you stop complaining? Stop your kvetching. Oh, I should have a segment. Learn a Yiddish word with Betsy. Kvetch, spelled K-V-E-T-C-H. It means to complain, belly ache. Stop kvetching about your arthritis already. Kvetch. Yiddish with Betsy. All right, the next whip we have is the Snooty Parrot Sampler. This was a stitch-along from years ago that Julie, Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World, Jen of Whistle Stop Stitcher, and I started. I'll try and find the hashtag. I'm doing mine in DMC. It's by Barbara Anna Designs, and I love it. And I worked on it recently since I recorded my first Flosstube in March. I have worked on this, but not recently. Julie's doing silks. I lied. It's not DMC. I'm doing fancy floss. I told you, don't ever listen to me. I make things up. Aren't they pretty? This is on, I don't know why I remember this, 40 count mallow. Do I know the company? It just says Vigard. Mallow linen. I was going to show you the back. Oh, look, Melly Ellie. Melly Ellie and I have the same needle minder because she and I are twins. If you don't watch Melanie on Melly Ellie Stitches, you have to. Her laugh is infectious. It's like EJ from Sunshine Stitchers. She could be laughing at something horrible, and I'll just start laughing because her laugh is infectious. Melanie, you can just narrate a story that's really boring, insert your laughter, and I will laugh. I will laugh at the story. She's awesome. She lives in Michigan. She's a Michigander. Isn't that pretty? You know what's going to happen? I'm going to start looking at all these things. I'm going to put it in a pile. Okay, I want to do this today and this today. And I'm putting each project back in the bag. I don't have Brenda here to help me, so I'm doing it myself. So I may intersperse this with some anecdotes or thoughts I have on any topic. One that comes to mind. I was exchanging messages with a fellow Flosstuber who shall remain unnamed. No, it's not Nikki. I know y'all think Nikki and I are twins. We were separated at birth. 13 years apart. Like Darcy and I were separated at birth, 21 years apart. I was messaging with a fellow Flosstuber, and we were talking about Flosstube in general, how to make it interesting, what to do in Flosstube, etc., etc. And the subject came up that I share my channel on Instagram. Take a break. I hope I remember where I was. This is the next. Kathy Barrick, My Day Complete. Isn't that pretty? I love stitching birds. Birds and tuxedo cats. Tuxedo cats that eat birds. No, I'm just kidding. The circle of life. This is on, well, I don't know what fabric it is, but I do know I'm using silk. I have not worked on this in a long time because I started on the tree, which just did not inspire me. So, oh, now, okay, so you can hardly see the outline here. This is this part. But I want to get back to this. Maybe I was thinking I should change fabric or the color, but I'm going to keep going because I still think that's a different color. Okay, the outline is a different color than the fill-in, so you will see the fill-in here if I ever stitch it. I'm looking for the fabric, bear with me. Oh, 40 count Lakeside maple sugar linen. I've been sitting with gold in my craft room. Lakeside linen. These are the silks. They're not a lot. I keep mine in bags. I don't want to get them all messed up because they cost so much. Anyway, so I was talking with this Flosstuber about how I put when I have a new video out, I put it on Instagram. I came back to Flosstube in March. When I did Flosstube back in 2018, I did not publicize it on Instagram because I thought, I don't want coworkers, friends, and family who don't stitch to see my Flosstube. This was only in 2018. I still was in my late 50s. You would think I would have had a better perspective. When I came back to Flosstube, I thought, I don't care. Because this Flosstuber is younger than I am, like everybody, and was saying that they didn't want to share it on Instagram because they didn't want friends, family see their Flosstube, see their little secret. And I totally understand that. Totally understand that. I've had friends, family, coworker. I even shared it on purpose with a coworker. Told her to keep it a secret, and my perspective has totally changed. One thing I learned in therapy, we're very, very hard on ourselves, right? And judge ourselves and critique ourselves and think, oh, everybody will think this is stupid if I do this or that. One thing I learned in therapy was to take myself out of the equation and ask if a friend did what I'm doing, how would I judge that friend? 9.9 times out of 10, unless we're a horrible friend, we would say, wow, that's awesome. I can't believe they did that. I'm so proud of them. That's really brave of them to put themselves out there. Did I just blow your mind? That totally changed my perspective when I learned that tool. And when I recorded my Flosstube in March and decided to share on Instagram, I had the same thought. What if I'll take my friend Amy, and Amy, if you're watching, mwah, she's one of my BFFs since 3rd grade, and she found my Flosstube quite by accident on Instagram. If Amy started a YouTube channel on, what does she like to do? She likes to bake sourdough. I don't even go in the kitchen unless I'm cleaning up. I have no interest in it. If I saw Amy make a channel on YouTube about making sourdough, and she went into the minutia of it and talked about other people who were making sourdough, and she was on YouTube, number 1, I would subscribe. Number 2, I would push the notification bell. Number 3, I would leave comments to support her. It would be awesome. So I thought about that when I was about to record, and it totally changed my perspective. If some random person that I don't know very well thinks, what? Betsy Klager's doing this crazy Flosstube and she's a lawyer? I wouldn't want her handling my cases. Guess what? I don't care what that person thinks. I don't know them that well. They can move on. What relevance do they have to my life? The only people that I care about are the people who are going to love and support me no matter what. That's something to think about, and I relayed this to the other Flosstuber, and I hope that they will consider, because that leads me to the next point, which I'll get to after this with. Because y'all didn't come to just hear me babble. This I want to get back to soon, because October is right around the corner. October is one of my favorite months, because I got married in October. Smartest thing I ever did was marry Scott. I don't always say that. I don't always think it. Most days I do, though. Quaker Pumpkins by Hello from Liz Matthews. She is an amazing designer. Amazing! These are the fancy flosses that are all tangled. Tangled up in orange and rust and brown. That's a bad Bob Dylan impersonation. Sorry, Darcy. This is stitched on, it looks to be a Lugana. So that's what I'm going to guess, that it's Lugana. It's a beigey color. Look at that. Sideways Ouija board. And a kitty cat needle minder. Isn't that gorgeous? This has to be in my rotation I want to finish this before Halloween. I know I won't have it framed before Halloween, unless I frame it myself, which is a possibility. Who thinks I can do it by Halloween? Comment below if you think I can do this by Halloween, or challenge me and tell me that you don't think I can do it by Halloween, and then I'll be motivated. Yeah, I'm one of those people. So the point number 2 I was getting at when I was exchanging messages with this Flosstuber, and most of you are probably watching this person, but I don't feel comfortable sharing who it was because it was a private conversation. But, oops, oh, I have the information. No, that's not it. Sorry, that was from another. I thought this had the fabric for Quaker pumpkins, but it doesn't, alas. Why share on Instagram? Why make it more public? Why do you care about getting more people to look at your Flosstube? I get a kick out of hearing from people all across the country, around the world, who stumble upon my Flosstube. Whether it's through Instagram or someone else says, hey, check out this Flosstube. Not because this is a job, especially because this is not a job. If this was a job, I wouldn't do it. It's fun, that's why I do it. So it's not about increasing numbers to strut around, strut around, what is strutting around? Strut around to say I have this many subscribers or that many subscribers, although I do get a kick when I see the numbers go up, so thank you. It's just about connecting with more people and more diverse people from different backgrounds, different ages, different countries, different languages. So that's why I decided sharing on Instagram would allow not just more visibility for me, because I don't want to say I don't care about it, because obviously I do, but not because of my ego, but because I like the exchange. So that was what we were talking about, to make the channel, the Flosstube channel, visible to more people, more reactions, more input. There's more of a give and take the more people you have. I don't know if I'm articulating that well. But that's kind of the nature of the exchange. So, I'll put a plug in that. We'll talk about that on the other side of this. This project is by The Primitive Hare, 6 Wives of Henry VIII. And this is one that I want the finished object, like yesterday. And I started this 3 years ago. I'm sorry, I don't have dates. I could just kind of give you what I remember. But I'm at a point, I haven't gotten to the point where I'm on the other side where I'm obsessively stitching it. I'm still in this stage where it's kind of a chore. I don't know if you ever find that with certain charts, and then you get to the point where, yeah, you're really on a roll and you want to finish it. But, oh, this has a really nice needle minder on it. All my needle minders are nice, but this is one, it's, it looks like the cameo, those cameos. Isn't that pretty? So this is how far I've gotten. This is also on a 40 count. And I do remember, one of the reasons I didn't really take off on this is because 40 count was new to me. And now 40 count is my go-to. So I'll betcha if I pick this up, I'll take off on it. Because I already have, let's see, which one do I have? Catherine of Aragon. I already have Catherine of Aragon. And when I showed the chart to my husband, he got excited about it. He was like, whoa, I want that hanging in our house. Doesn't that feel good when your partner, significant other, says, oh, I'm excited for you to finish that. That's going to look really good. They just encourage you. I don't know. It makes me feel good. This is stitched in DMC. This is before I knew to cut them shorter. I made them really long, and I'll probably trim these so I don't get knots. I probably have 5 of the same color of DMC in a bunch of different colors because I just kit it up as I go. I don't have a master set, and I don't take from projects. That just hurts my brain. Okay, I lost my train of thought. I was doing pretty well, but I was talking, oh, I know what I was gonna say. Anybody out there who is thinking of doing a Flosstube, or you're thinking of posting and sharing your stitching online, on social media in any way or form, and you're hesitant because you're afraid of what other people will think, I really, really encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and go with your passion and do what you want to do. What's the worst that can happen? Yes, we get negative comments sometimes. Yes, we feel, I don't want to say rejected. I don't give people the power to reject me. But if I'm not that confident, I can see how that would feel rejecting. If someone voted no, I don't want to see your bits, for example. But the rewards are so high, the positivity is so high, and so much fun. So I just want to encourage you. If you want to talk more about it, you can DM me. That's direct message on Instagram. You can comment on the YouTube. On the YouTube. But I just want to encourage people to follow your passion. Do what you think is right. And the people that you love and care about, they'll support you. If people don't, you don't want them in your life anyway. I haven't shown this on any Flosstube, I don't think. This is Little House Needleworks. Needleworker. I started this probably 4 years ago. And it's on gorgeous fabric. What's wrong with me? Y'all, I haven't picked this up. It's on Color and Cotton. I belonged to Color and Cotton Fabric Club for about 5 minutes back in 2018, I think. And that's when I was into even weave before I got into the 40 count. And this is all I've done. Edel, as far as I've gotten. I am going to tell you this fabric because I have it right here. Wedgwood. It's Lugana 32 count Wedgwood by Color and Cotton. The needle minder is, coffee, cuss words, cats, cross stitch. I'll hold it up and see. That sounds about right. Is that not gorgeous? Wedgwood. I don't know if they still make that color. So worth it. So worth it. Because at the end of my life, I am not, and this is not meant to be macabre, this is actually a pretty happy sentiment I carry around with me. At the end of my life, I'm not going to regret when I hesitated and decided not to do something. I'm going to regret if I don't follow through and don't do what I want to do. And I'm going to look back and say, I'm really glad I did that Flosstube. I'm really glad I recorded everything that I was working on and connected with so many people. I'm not going to regret that. But I think if I didn't come back to Flosstube and I was still thinking about, I wish I would do it, I wanted to do it, then I would regret that. And that's not to say Flosstube's for everybody. It isn't. Some people don't like to talk or don't want to put themselves out there. So I'm in no means saying if you stitch, you have to do Flosstube. I'm talking to the people who feel the pull, not even just Flosstube, but to put your stitching out there in social media. That you don't want people from other parts of your life to see this part of you. Not everybody wants to do that, and that's fine. But if you feel the pull that you want to share and you want to connect to all these people, do it. You won't regret it. I'm very bossy today. These are classic color works for needleworker. That would be really nice to hang on the door to my craft room. I keep talking about when we get our house all redone. Still haven't heard back from the contractor on when it's all going to happen. So trying not to stress too much about it. It'll happen when it happens. That was the little pile. Now I'm going to the big basket. I can't lift it up because I've got a bad back, but it's huge. Now this, sorry, that was something falling on the trash. All right, this next project here is my first foray into full coverage. I just have to say something. I heard someone once, they meant to say full, and I do this all the time, so I'm laughing with, not at this person, but someone on a video, I think it was like 2 years ago maybe, meant to say soiree, no, foray, and said soiree. This is my first soiree. Into full coverage. Girl, monkey, really chimpanzee on a toilet. Thanks to Colleen of Rebel Stitcher Designs. This is on 2 strands on Ada, which count I do not know. It's either 14 or 16 count. I suspect 16 count. I'm suspicious of it being 16 count. Oh, so many DMCs. And again, I cut them and organize them as I go. I just can't sit and do it for hours on end. And I'll show you the rest of them. These colors. I am not doing the background, so I'm not doing all of that. I'm just doing the toilet, the chimpanzee. And that's why I picked this color to, so I didn't have to do the background. I'm going to pick this up again before the next Flosstube. So take a note, it's this way, I'll try and remember to take a picture before and after. I enjoy it. I enjoy this full coverage. But again, the 2 strands on the Ada, it's not the best for my thumbs, so I do have to take a break. Whereas on 40 count, I could just sit for hours, which is also not very healthy. I need to get up and move. So that's going to go in with the pumpkin, Quaker pumpkin. Let's work on this, the next group. With the caveat, sorry, I just found a needle here that I don't know what it goes to. It's on a magnet. We'll just leave that over here. With the caveat that my plans don't always mean I'm going to follow through. Are we having fun yet? Here's my next whip. Joan Sands. And this is a stitch along, start along. Joan Sands Mania Sal by Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery. This is on 40 count summer khaki. Summer khaki by Swigert. I'm going to show you the flosses first. All DMC. This one I did prepare ahead of time. That's new. And this is dreamy. I will say this, having the room or the shade pulled down and the ring light makes it so that you can see without having to put a backing on it. At least it looks like that to me. I hope it comes out that way. So my next part, I'm going to do this here and then go down to the next bit, which more letters. And then there's eyelet stitch down here. Nikki was telling me. I don't know if I'll do it. I'll do it. It's a new thing. I'll try. I love this. Join the SAL. It's not too late. We're all in different stages of the project. The group that started the start along, but people can join and share your progress on Instagram with the hashtag. I'm going to get much better, and I did the last video, put hashtags on my video, and I'm going to do that going forward as I remember. This one I have not shown on any Flosstubes because I started it before March of 2021. March 2021 is the time I started my Flosstube, part 2. But look at this. Oh! Shakespeare Peddler. Maria Finney, 1832, Adam and Eve's house. I didn't know they had a house. You learn something new every day. Speaking of Adam and Eve, my husband was telling me about a story he read about, very interesting. It was in the Denver Post this morning, but I'm sure you can find it probably an AP story or Reuters. They found a skull in China. A man, well, he was young at the time. This man in China died in 2018, and before he died, he mentioned to his family, oh yeah, sometime in 1933, by the way, when I was digging as a laborer, I found this skull at the bottom of a well. Didn't do anything to it, just left it there, didn't tell anybody about it, but now, in 2018, I think y'all might want to know. So they found a skull of not a descendant, not one of our descendants, but apparently, I don't know enough about it to really know what I'm talking about, but it's very interesting if you are an anthropologist or interested in evolution and how different species and DNA show who was related when. We're talking hundreds of thousands of years ago. I think it's all very fascinating. I know that was very, maybe I'll try and find the article and tag it below or link it below. I just find all of it interesting. What they can, the information they can gather from what they find from hundreds of thousands of years ago. Okay, so I was showing you Maria Finney, 1832. These are the flosses, Weeks Dye Works, Classic Color Works, etc. I do not know the fabric. It is 40 count. And hi, Scott. Scott's spying on me. Do you want to say hi to Flosstube? Okay. I actually got pretty far on this, so I have to put this into the pile of get back too soon. Don't you think? Okay, if there are any youngsters around, cover their ears or skip forward. I'm not going to say the word, but if they read, you don't want them to see this. This is my needle minder. Who is that? That's going to blow the back of my head and be too loud. I can edit this out. So. Oh, you want that fan? Okay, you can take that fan.
Doesn't that fan work right?
Yeah, he's a fan thief. Oh, now it looks like I'm running on the beach with the wind flowing through my hair. I want to say this is some kind, maybe straw, but it's beautiful. I can see what the pattern says, because I think I did everything. Yes, straw. It is straw. This says it's 36 count, but I'm betting I got 40 count because I'm using one thread. Am I? I seem to be using one thread. Yes, I believe it's 40 count. I'm gonna get back to this. If I get my act together, maybe I will make a list of my whips in the description box. I don't think I have it in me to put, you know, the materials, and I'm sure these are called for. I don't think I have it in me to detail all the materials, etc., that are in each project, but it'd be fun to make a list, and then we can compare and see what we're working on that's the same. And if you want to do a hashtag, create a hashtag for it, even after it started. I don't think that breaks any rules. Excuse me. And if it does, we can break the rules. Now you all have seen this, unless you're new. Nevermore by Leela's Studio. Oh, this is not going to get completed before Halloween. Maybe Halloween 2022. But I'm going to hang this all year round once I finish it. This is on the called for, I know it's 40 count feldspar linen by Picture This Plus. Isn't that gorgeous? Leela's Studio is one of my favorite designers. She's up there with Jacob and Kathy Barrick and Liz Matthews. And here are, they're all fancy floss cotton with the exception of one silken colors in Slug Bug. This is the silken colors. Slug Bug. Don't be a slug bug. Be a fast-moving bug. That's Nevermore. Beautiful. So, does this ever happen to you? You order a chart and all the floss to go with it, let's say from 1, 2, 3 stitch, and they say, we have all of them except for 1 or 2. We'll send it to you when we get it. Months go by. You put the kit somewhere in a bag, wait for the floss to come. A month, 2 months goes by, you randomly get floss in the mail from 1, 2, 3 stitch or wherever, and you have no idea what the project's for. Yeah, that just happened to me. So I put the floss in this basket, and I'm just waiting. When I start new projects, I can't remember, it's some gold, heirloom gold or something gold. But when I start a new project, and if I'm missing something gold, I'll consult my basket. I'll see if I have it, and if I don't have it, then I'll know. I should write things down, but I don't. Not into writing things down. This was my first red sampler. I was a red sampler virgin until I got this chart as a gift from Nikki. She finished it. Louisa Collamore from Hands Across the Sea. Started this, I think in June, sometime in June. on my vacation, that's when it was, because I wanted to have a monochromatic on vacation. The fabric is huge because I still haven't cut it. I'm a little nervous to cut it because I want to make sure I have enough. So I just carry around a big fat half of my Seraphim bee's knees with the koala and the baby. Isn't that gorgeous? Start all the red samplers. Hashtag. Oh, now I want to work on this today. I'm using DMC 3777. Although I have to tell you, 40 count Seraphim bee's knees. I have to tell you that, was it Julie, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world, went to San Francisco where needlepoint ink silks are born, and I'm going to be good, but I think maybe at some point in the not too distant future I'm going to wind up with a hank of NPI silk to do another red sampler. This is the DMC. This is King Jacob's favorite red, or one of the favorites. I think this is favorite. DMC 377. Oh, Louisa, you're calling to me. But I'm gonna sew. I want to sew project bags. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. This is a very old whip. I started in 2017 or 2018, and I love it. But it's huge, like a lifetime project. I'm gonna take it out of the package. Houses of Hawk Run Hollow. In addition to stitching tuxedo cats and birds, I love stitching houses. This is all in silk. Yeah. That I bought all at once. But I love it. And I took it on a vacation 2 years ago and got a lot done. And I just haven't picked it up because of too many other distractions. This is on 40 count. 40 count. Here, I'll show you the silks while I'm looking for the tag. And there's more that I haven't put in the little baggies because I haven't used them yet. These are Soie de Jay. Yeah, they're all Soie de Jay. Set me back a pretty penny. And it's on 40 count something by Swigart. I'm so sorry, I don't remember. But it was back when 40 count was still, new to me. So, that was the first square, so that took a long time. But once I got used to the 40 count, and once I got started on a square and into it, I would, well, except for this one, I stopped halfway through the house. But, yeah, no, there's a fourth square here, and I'm using all the colors that they said to use. Can you hear me through the fabric? I think so. It's gorgeous. This is a long-term project. Everything's a long-term project until I decide I want to finish it. I'm not keeping count, so I'm not going to count it all up until the end. Like after I post the video, then I'll count it all up. Because I know I just don't want to, I don't have room really to write anything down, and I know I will not remember the numbers. So if you're keeping count, you're a step ahead of me. The next is another Barbara Anna design that is a start along. I'm gonna have to look up the hashtag. It's something about pussycats. I'm gonna change that to Hamilton. It's called the Feathered Whisperers. Nikki and I started it, but everybody and anybody can join. And I am using everything called for, which is DMC. Oh, it is on 40 count platinum by Zweigart. These are all the flosses. We are not doing this. Oh, this shows it without the border. There's a version of it with a border that we're not doing. But, you know, I knew that, but then where did I start? I started on the border. So this is on the part of the fabric that will not be used. This is, well, it's blowing. The fan is blowing it. Let's see if I can do this. Come on, Betsy, get your act together. Look, that little princess bed, where my little princess will go. I really need to get, this is going in the work on me this week pile. I will not be recording for a while. We are leaving on, what's today? Today's Saturday. We're leaving on Thursday to go to Baltimore to visit my mother-in-law, who is in assisted living in Baltimore. She'll be 91 at the end of the month, and we haven't seen her. I haven't seen her since October 2019 because of COVID. And they recently lifted the restrictions so that people can come from out of town and visit her, and also take her out of the place and go get an ice cream, that kind of thing. So we're doing that for about 5 days. So I will not be probably recording a regular Flosstube for a while until after that visit. So I don't know why I said that. Because, oh, I know, because I was saying things that I wanted to work on before my next Flosstube. So I might have plenty of time. All right, here's another Leela Studio. The Quaker's Welcome. And I'm doing this on a mushroom Lugana, 25 count, 1/1. And I really enjoy stitching on this. With the magnifier, I don't have problems seeing it. So I recommend trying a 1/1 on a 25 count. See how you like it. This is a combination, it looks like, of DMCs and Fancy Floss. Yeah. Very pretty. Very pretty. If you want to, feel free to comment below, not only on ones that you're working on, so we can maybe coordinate and work together, but also ones that you like and that you want to see more progress on. I may or may not listen, but I like to know what everybody thinks and what your opinions are, unless they're mean, and then I'll ignore them. Second red sampler by Leela Studio. And this is using Classic Colorworks used brick, which is called for. And I am stitching it on 40 count Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart. This, I don't think, is going to take terribly long. Once I got totally addicted to it and worked it on it for several days because I couldn't put it down. Let me put it right way. Yeah, this is the right way. Isn't that pretty? It's a red sampler, but it's so different than the other one with the 3777. I like it. I think I have to do a red sampler in silk. What do you think? I think I need to. I need to get a big old hank of NPI, Silks for You. I haven't tried that. Or what is it? Mrs. Sada's silk? Ooh, that could be dangerous. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Back to King Jacob for Rule of Life. With the Leo and Roxy floss from Evertote. Look, isn't that gorgeous? I just love the Quaker motifs. I really do. This is stitched on, here, let me show you the leaf. Oh, I have to put these on my, do I have my floss ring? No, I didn't put it in the bag yet, but I do have a floss ring for these that Padma sent me, my little Hamilton. I just need to put these on. It was kind of a busy week at work. Yeah, that's my excuse. That's a ticket. Don't remember John Lovett on Saturday Night Live? He was the pathological liar. Yeah, that's right. That's a ticket. When I was growing up, I watched TV all the time. I know so many TV references. It's kind of sad, but it was my life. This is on 40 count affogato, and I think I have a yard of this. So I will trim it when I get down to the bottom. I will cut. When I get over here and down, I will trim up the fabric. But quite a lovely stitch. And I have to tell you that the Leo and Roxy flosses are gorgeous, and they are a delight to work with. The only complaint I have is that they are sold by Caroline, who never takes a bad picture. I've never seen her look bad in a picture. And I've challenged her. She always looks gorgeous. Bitch. I hope you're laughing, Caroline, because I'm cracking myself up. Oh, only a few more to go. How many do we have so far? I don't know. Maybe I'll count and put a number here. I don't know. I might be too lazy when I edit. Okay, here's one I haven't worked on in a long time, and I'm sorry I don't have a color picture because I printed it out. It's a PDF from Hands Across the Sea. Excuse me. Marion B. Horsberg, and I believe Laura is working on this, and so many of these projects are Laura's fault. And yes, we are using silks. For the silk enthusiast, these are the Soie de Jais. Again, I always get it mixed up. Is it Avera Soie is the company, and Soie de Jais is the type. That's what these are. These flosses here that are stuck to the magnets. Whoa, and plastic bag. And this is a cute little sampler, and I want to get back to it. Just like I want to get back to everything. Sorry you keep seeing the top of my head. So, talking about the skull that was found in China reminds me, and talking about my head reminds me. I'll tell you in a minute of what it reminds me of. This is gorgeous. Oh my. Why have I not finished this? Look at that. Who thinks I need to just bite the bullet and finish this? Look at those colors. Yes, the needle minder says bite me, okay? Sorry. I need to, okay, this is going in the work on me now pile. Why did I put this down with so much done? I'm sorry, did I hold that up enough? I know it's 40 count, but I do not have, do I have a tag? Yes, I do. I do. Can I read it? Oh! Stars Hollow, R&R blend, R&R fabric, Stars Hollow blend is what it's called. No wonder I love it. No wonder I love the fabric. Oh. Oh. That takes, we need to do another look. Oh, okay. This is going over here with the Quaker Pumpkins. Quaker Pumpkins pile. This one. There was another one I mentioned, I don't remember. The skull and my head reminded me. Back in the olden days when I was in law school, we actually had libraries with books because nothing was online. And I remember one day being in the library between classes, and one of my friends, David Demaray, why do I remember that name, came up and patted me on the head for something, like, just joking around. And he went, ah! And pulled away. I said, what's wrong? He goes, your head. And he started feeling my head. You have a ridge. You're the missing link. I have a ridge on my head. I really do. Like, I touch other people's heads, it's flat. I kind of want to shave my head and just see what it would look like, but I don't know. I don't think it would be a good look. This one. A Dutch sampler. This is by Kathy Barrick. I'm going to take this to a stitchy weekend because during the day is really the only time I can work on this, not in our TV cave. It's 40 count Havana, and there's just something about the color that I can't see that well to distinguish what the X should be. So I love this. And there's my Hamilton. Very wrinkly. So I haven't made as much progress as I want. Every time I pick it up, I do a little bit of this and then I put it down because I can't see it. So this needs to be a daytime stitching project. But I love it. So if anybody else is working on this, let me know. And this, am I using silks on this? Let's see. Let us see. The answer is yes. I am using NPI, needlepoint silk, with the exception of Silken Colors, this green here, which is on the flower. It's willow green. It's beautiful. It's so soft. But these are the rest of the colors. So it really doesn't call for, excuse me, a lot of silk, if you can see. This is the willow green. I just love the blues on this Havana. Look, little animals. What was it? Kyle, Stitching and Sound, was posted on Instagram of a sampler motifs he was doing, and one of them he couldn't tell what the animal was. Is it a pig? Is it a dog? Is it a bear? Is it a, I don't remember what animals. And I said, it's a pig dog. Do you remember the cartoon Cat Dog? Half of it was cat, half of it was dog. It was on in the 90s, because that's when my son would have been watching it. TV tip. Here's, all right, Darcy just started this one, and he's putting me to shame. I have all the clues through July have been released. They're all saved in my email, in my Outlook, but I had 3 starts on this because the different fabrics I used, and ultimately I still didn't count right, but I'm not redoing it. It's on 40 count light mocha Swigard. This is the one where I don't have much room over here, but we're gonna make it work. Darcy's already done one of the corners, and then this whole thing. And it looks really good. You go, Darcy. And those of you who are keeping up, you're really inspiring me. I think I might put this in the work on it soonly pile. Oh, I did tell you what it's on, and it's using DMC Colors 833. This is 833. And the blue is 3750. Beautiful, if I do say so myself. Some youngster helped me in the Michaels aisle pick these out. Those youngsters, they have very good taste, some of them. 4 more to go. I told you it wasn't that long. This one, all right, this is a crime that I haven't finished this. It's a crime because it's almost done. Not really, but halfway. And it's a cute little bird. Maybe I should show you the pattern first. But here's my Rebel Stitches design. Needle Minder, Black Lives Matter, which I love. And it is a Blackbird Designs. Why didn't I get this out during Blackbird weekend? I should have. And we all know, unfortunately, Barb passed away last weekend, and this is going to go in the pile to work on soon, in tribute and honor to Barb, who was half of Blackbird Designs. It's a sewing box. This is what, I'm not almost finished. I totally lie to myself, but I want to finish that. And I do want to finish it exactly like this. I want to paint a paper mache box, and if I was a good friend, I would make it and give it to somebody, but I want to keep it. And what did I use to stitch this, you're asking? I am using the called for Belle Soie Dinky Dye. Yeah, Dinky Dye and Belle Soie. So soft. Although, if I'm being totally honest, my preferred silk thus far, and I haven't tried all of them by any means, my favorite so far to work with is NPI. But look, I won't say no to any silk. And I really want to try Yamir Almond M&Ms. I want to try her silk. I have a lot of things I want to try. See, I need to make a project bag to put this in. What I'm going to do this afternoon while this is uploading. Here's another Blackbird design that I actually did start for the first Blackbird weekend. Feast of Friendship, which I love. And I'm doing this on 46 count. And I think it's going to be beautiful. I just have to get used to 46 count. And I've gotten a decent amount of work done, but I haven't done it recently. This and the Partridge sewing box are going to be for the next Blackbird weekend. That will be my plan. So that'll be the beginning of August, right? Yeah. This says stitching assistant. I better put the needle on it. I've lost more needles, like 5 in the last month, no, maybe 4, that I don't know where they are. In the couch somewhere. I am using all of the called for. Oh, I didn't tell you what kind of fabric. It is 46 count. No, I lied. 45 count foxtail millet. FBR. What's that? What dyer is that? Fiber FBR. I don't know. This is what it says. If anybody can solve that mystery, and tell me. That's the fabric I'm using, and it's Classic Colorworks, Gentle Art, called for. If I had gotten my act together sooner, then maybe I could have had that finished by Thanksgiving, but I don't think that's gonna happen, and that's okay, because when I finish something, I'm gonna hang it all year round. I put all that work into it. It's not gonna be for a specific. Here's another higher count fabric project that, I think this is 46 count, but I'm not gonna tell you until I know for sure. Yeah, 46 count antique white. And this is Anne Gott. This is the Attic Needlework Stitch Along. And it's by Needlework Press. And I just love the colors. And I haven't picked this up. I'm using the 103 from Avera Sloth. Truth be told, not terribly fond of it. It's a little too thin for my taste. That's why I'm using the 46 count. I don't like it on 40 count for me. I probably, if I were to do it again, I would, which I'm not, I would do the Soitagé. But can't argue with this, can ya? It's beautiful. I'm just talking about what I prefer to work with and what feels good in my hands. That's what she said. Ta-da! One more after this. I gotta get these silk projects out, or I'm not gonna be a silk enthusiast anymore. My reputation's at stake. Humph. Harumph. Okay, one more. Okay, like three videos ago, I said I was gonna finish this. Have I picked it up? No. This might be a good one to take to Baltimore though. Because again, I'm faced with deciding what am I gonna take when I travel. It's one color, and I'm using 40 count autumn gold linen on it. I'm not doing the big one, I'm doing the little one. Carriage House Samplings is the designer. Matter's Choice. I do not know the silk I'm using, but I am using silk. It says NPI, but I think that might be a lie. I don't know. Because it called for NPI, so it could be. It very well could be, but I don't have the original tag. It's navy blue, and let me tell you, oh, I did tell you the fabric. Okay. Look at that. It's sideways. I was testing you. You don't expect me to have a video without showing something the wrong way, do you? I mean, come on. So I just have this side to do, and then the middle house. Here, there's like a big crease there. Get rid of the crease. What? Can you see it? I need to flatten it out. There we go. And again, I started this before I was really comfortable on 40 count. So, pretty proud of myself. Now, 40 count is my preferred sweet spot, as they say. And that's it for my whips. And it's less than an hour and a half, an hour and 18 minutes. So, if you don't have time to watch, do what I recommended in my last video, speed me up. And then if you want to see a project closer, or you want to pause, you can slow me down. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking around if you did, if you're watching at the end. I think next I might do a kitted parade. Doubtful it'll be done before I go to Baltimore, but who knows? You never know. It might be when I get back. I hope you all are having a great weekend. Let's see, in Australia, you're waking up it'll be Sunday. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's still Saturday, and it's July, it's hot. I'm staying in the air conditioning. I go outside on our deck when it starts to cool off, but other than that, I'm an indoor cat, like Hamilton. Stay safe, everybody. I hope you all are having a wonderful summer or winter if you're in the southern hemisphere, and I will see you next time. Mwah. Bye.